I'm back, and I'm better. 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another District Gooner Pod. This is our Michael Jordan episode.
My man.
2-3. I know it's the holiday season. I'm in Miami, recording outdoors, actually, and a little rain is falling. Some wind is blowing, so hopefully the sound will be all right. Where are you tuning in today, Steven?
Howdy, everybody. I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. Weather's been pretty nice. It's been rainy, of course. If you know, you know. But Merry Christmas. I hope everybody's having a good holiday with family and friends, having some eggnog maybe. But let's get into it. A big day yesterday. Liverpool, Arsenal, 1-1. I got the prediction right. I called it. If we were together, I don't know. Maybe is it a champagne day? I don't know. We'll stick to 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, if it had turned out to be, yeah, dude, I mean, good on you for the prediction. Way to go, man. 1-1. Could have been 2-2. I think both teams deserve to have a penalty shout for me. And maybe we'll just start out really quickly with a little passage from this book, dude. I've been reading Arsen's book, Papa Wang's Le Professeur, and it's about his time in red and white, but he also talks a lot just about his whole career. And on page 97, there's a little passage where he's talking about his time in Monaco, and I guess the French football at that time was under a lot of scrutiny. And he says in here just about VAR, he says that I've read a good deal of criticism of the video assistant referee, but I think it's a huge step forward. A lot of people claim that VAR kills the excitement and that in the past, mistakes would just have balanced out over a season. That's an unacceptable argument because there's no proof the mistakes do balance out. And even if that were the case, it would mean a mistake in itself isn't serious, and even that we should accept large amounts of them.
Oof. Talk that mess. Making a mistake, they have consequences. That's basically what he's saying. You can't just say, "Oh," I think that's the view of a lot of people, right? It's like, "Oh, well, mistakes happen. If you don't get the penalty here, you're gonna get it later in the season. Someone against you won't get it." But no, I think actions have consequences. That's basically the gist of that. It's like, why should we accept a lower standard? Why is that acceptable? We can't just brush it off to the side. It's not acceptable. If there's a way to prevent it, you should do that.
You should do that, and at the same time, you should stop trying to scrutinize things that are just clear. Like, when we went up 1-0, I was shocked, dude, that it was like a 3-minute VAR review. I have no idea what they were assessing the whole time. It was like so obvious to me that, one, he was on, like the knee was clearly ahead of him, and two, it was just like, what are we watching here? What are we looking for? Are you just looking for something to pull the goal back because we got an early goal at Anfield? Like, what are we looking for? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's on me. Drawing the lines. Just draw the lines. Let's get it over with. If they can make it quicker, that would just make that more ideal. I guess jumping into the next decision, though, the handball. For me, that's a handball. What do you think?
In the moment when it happened, like a minute after that, I was thinking, don't call that. I was just watching, I was like, don't call it. Like, I just knew they were going to call it. I was like, don't call that. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, as you watch some of the replays, I get it. He does slip and he loses his balance. But at the same time, like, it's a handball.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to argue against that. It looks like, but, the definition of a handball has just gotten so muddied, you really don't know, dude.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Handball is so subjective right now. You really don't know. You really don't. So I think if that happened in our box and we didn't get the call, it's like, even though I think it's a handball, like I wouldn't feel that hard done by it because you just don't know. It's almost like a 50-50. I think they're in the VAR booth. They flip coins. Let's see what it heads or tails. Handball heads, tails. It's not tails. It was tails today, so no handball.
I also think they're just kind of persuaded at times about, well, it happened, but like some time has passed, and in the momentum of the game, like maybe we don't want to disrupt the momentum at this point in the game. So I think there's just a lot of things that go into it. There's obviously a lot of talking points that came out of this game, but sort of before we hit on all of them, I want to just ask, like, what are your general thoughts? Result 1-1, 1 point at Anfield, like general feedback about the game. I want to hear you.
I'm happy with the result. I would have preferred to win, but like a 1-1, I think we showed up, man. I think we showed up and we played. They came at us. They definitely had momentum at times. They were coming at us. We held strong. I think we looked a much different team. I didn't feel as shaky. I remember last year when we got the draw, it was shaky. We really held on for that thing. This year was different. It was different vibes. Game overall, though, that was a great game. Like, as a viewer, man, woof. That's a game of football. Very fun. At times, end to end. At times, we're on top. At times, they're on top. Midfield battle was good, I think. There was chances on both ends. A lot of action. I think it was a great game. But as a result, 1-1, take a point at Anfield. I take it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was really nice to see both teams just willing to play. It was like it was a proper match, like we're gonna come out swinging, you're gonna come out swinging, let's do it. And even though we went up, you always know we're getting scored on at Anfield. Like, we're not getting scored on at Anfield. So we're not hanging on for 1-0 here. And I was very pleased. I think, look, we started out very strong. It looked like we were totally up for it, and that showed. I think, dude, even after we scored the first 15 or so, it was still all us. It wasn't like they were threatening us in some ways. There was one chance, I think, where Zinchenko very early on, again, went up for like a weird header, and it kind of landed to Salah, where he
hit the side netting.
Like, Gakpo and Gabriel were challenging for the ball, and I don't even know what he's thinking, that he's trying to jump with those two. Like, come on, man. But I'll tell you one thing, I do have to give props to your point of their midfield. Their midfield surprised me. I think before the game, I felt very strong about our midfield, although I feel like we still outperformed them. I was impressed that Endo guy was very active, breaking up play. And but overall, yeah, I agree. We're just so used to getting kind of being scared and dominated at Anfield. Yeah. But aside from, like, in the second half, there were a few chances where I thought, man, if we didn't have Declan Rice to cover the mistakes that we're making, to recover for us, to get into be the three in the back, like, it could have been 4-1, honestly, at some points it felt like. So big up Dex, big up the players, big up Odegaard. A lot of chatter about him and some of these away games, big games. I mean, he got the assist for the goal, and I thought he was up for it. He was running around playing well. Havertz was soft for me in the first half, but no, good game. Pleased with the point, dude. We'll take it. Sitting at top, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Let's go,
Absolutely. Man. Take the point. This is a tough run of games, right? Tough run of games, starting with that Villa one. So if we can pull out the three points against West Ham, who are looking good right now. If we can pull out the 3 points, that would be excellent. Still top, right? I think that's ultimately it. We're still top. So, good result.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think one of the main talking points is, why was it so slippery?
Unbelievable. The grounds crew over at Anfield need to have some training. I don't know if I don't want to call for anybody's job, but I think they need some training or something. That was insane. Ridiculous. And in the first half, I noticed their players kind of slipping a little bit, but the second half was atrocious. I think they probably had the sprinklers on at halftime, but that was insane. So bad. And then I go back to their bobble, playing the replay. Oh, Trent just got it wrong because the ball bobbled. I'm putting that on the grounds crew because the field was terrible. That really made it from such a good game to watch. The field kind of dampened things a little bit. Players were flying everywhere. Let's talk about the soccer foul on Tsimikas when he broke his collarbone.
Yeah, which is sad, by the way. Like, I don't take any joy in seeing a player get hurt like that.
No, absolutely not. And everybody's calling for Saka's head. I guess Liverpool fans, like he's the dirtiest player out there. But then you watch the replay from the front. He slipped. They didn't show it on our broadcast NBC, but there's a clip from the front, and his leg slips, and that's kind of what really drags him into Tsimikas, which really takes him out. Like, man, the field was just bad. I don't understand how a field like Anfield, you're a team that wants to play football. I get if it was like Turf Moor, of course, that's what they're known for. But no, not Anfield. I was very surprised.
Yes, dude. And honestly, like on that sequence of play, I'm not even sure if that's a foul. Like when I was watching it live, I didn't feel like it was a foul. But also, like once the player goes down and his coach tumbles over, like the ref is going to stop the game, I feel like in that situation. So it was tough. But no, I hear you, dude. And it looked like our players were more affected by the ground. Surely it looked like we were falling a lot more. And also some of the through balls. The ball just looked like it would slow down a little bit, right? As it was like, there were a couple where Saka was through, but like, and I feel like there's no way Joe Gomez can like keep up with Saka. So something's not right, bro.
The field, that was for me, like throughout the game. I know we're texting, like that was a major talking point. Like, what is going on with this field? Like, why are we having such a hard time? But yeah, I guess that's just a talking point. I think hopefully in the future when they come to the Emirates, we know it's not going to be like that. That's for damn sure. So we don't have to worry about it. One thing to look at yesterday: Saka's new haircut. So you got to know how you like.
I like the cut. It's interesting. Like I mean, it comes with being a superstar, right? Big game, new haircut. It's a superstar lifestyle that he's adjusting to. He's got to get new haircuts. Like it just comes with the profession, dude. I thought he was looking good. We'll see if he keeps it or not, for how long. But
we'll see how it goes.
I'm into it. I'm digging
Ben
it.
White, how he went with that haircut. Had a few games, wasn't feeling himself. He changed it back. I could see Saka doing the same thing. We'll see how the next few games go. Maybe he'll revert back.
Yeah, maybe he will, dude. We'll see. There's a couple of talking points after that, but I'm going to save those for the sort of later end of the show. I do want to talk about the goal that we got scored on. Long ball, right, over the top. I've watched the replay a couple of times, and I've seen some screenshots too, and Zinchenko is just so much deeper than everyone in our line. I'm not even saying that like he's the one keeping Saka onside because it looks like Salah is in line with like Gabriel and whatnot. Yeah. But that was just a theme of the game of like this person is just scared. He knows that he cannot defend against him. Obviously they've had their duels against them during the Man City title races. So he was the only player I felt like that was playing with just like slight fear. That was the only player that was playing with some fear.
Yeah, that was our sick deer of the day, man. I mean, the first half, it seemed to me pretty blatant that was something they figured out. Long ball into Salah, long ball down the right side was the move. That ball that got played, man, he was in a spin cycle. He did not look comfortable at all. Checking over one shoulder, checking over the other, almost like didn't know what to do. Then Salah gets around him so easily. So easy.
Too easy.
Like,
too easy. That leg he sticks out. That's easy, bro.
That's a challenge you make in the attacking third. Maybe in the midfield you stick a leg out. That was like you're on your own 18. That was bad. And it's Salah. He's once he got past him, it's like that's done. That's a done deal for me. It's over. One thing also I would like to hit on is Trent. This is 2 times in the game. The first time we got away with it. No one's pressuring him. He was actually in our attacking third outside the 18, and he whipped in a ball that went out for a goal kick. Why? This is the one guy you don't want on the ball, delivering balls. The one person, and we gave him way too much space. He gets the ball in between the center backs, between Van Dijk and Konate. He stands on it. Gabriel's cutting off the pass to Van Dijk, but I think you just got to go. That's my opinion. You can't let that do. That's what happens, right? Excellent ball out to Salah, get him 1-on-1. That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote, dude. And so there were a few instances where Jesus did block. I think there were free kicks, actually, from Trent, where Jesus was blocking them. And it was really, really great to see. On that one, yeah, he's just a little late to close him down. At the same time, it's just like, bro, he's playing a 50-yard pass. I'm expecting my guy to like be able to handle that, right? So
he has to handle that. He has to do way better than he did.
It's tough, dude, because you think about sort of the injuries that we have that are just not discussed by sort of mainstream media at all, right? Like Tommy. We've seen Tommy play against some of these big teams. One of his greatest strengths is the diagonal pass can't get over Tommy as much. Like, he'll get his head to it, right? And also, at the end of the day, if you really think about it, our replacement signing for Zinchenko got hurt in the first game, bro. Like, that's just pure bad luck. So again, I have to ask this. Is Zinchenko a cup final fullback?
That is a good question. I guess we'll see when we get there. But my initial reaction is if we had Tomiyasu, he does not play. Zinchenko does not play yesterday if we had Tomiyasu. I really don't think there's a doubt. No doubt in my mind. He wouldn't be playing. He's played against Salah before. Handled him well, right? Two-footed players. You know Salah's going to cut in, and he got to cut in, like we're saying. He just stuck out a leg. It was just, I don't know what he's doing. But Tomiyasu plays. Is he a cup final player? Yeah, he come on as a sub. But starting the game like that against these dangerous wingers you would expect to play in these huge games, he's just kind of a liability at times. He made a few mistakes yesterday. Let's kind of hit on that. That ball in the second half, I believe. Yes. He tried to turn. He turned into Salah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude. It was like a Cruyff move he was trying to do, going between his other leg. Like, what are you doing right now?
What are you doing? So he had the first moment you talked about earlier, the ball that he went up for the header for some reason, left Salah behind him. He hits it in the side netting. Yikes. That was a tale of things to come. Then the goal happened. And then that turn. It's kind of like, just play within yourself, man. You just play within yourself. I'd like to know what kind of happens behind the scenes a little bit, what the thoughts are. Maybe they really just want him to go forward. He really helped us in the second half. I would have to say it, going forward. He's such a great piece to have that goes into the midfield, controls the ball, excellent passer. But then you got to deal with the other end of the sword, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a cup final, I can see him playing the 8 role. I think he plays in the middle. I don't think he plays as an outside back in a cup final. And yeah, I mean, he's an offensively gifted player, right? There was one shot he had where Odegaard rolled it for him, top of the 18. When that ball was rolling, I really thought he's going to get this on target. When he was going to like, this might be a banger here, and he just skied it. Like, come on, bro.
That was... I held my breath when that ball was coming. I saw him. He can hit those, man. He can hit those 100%. I mean, obviously didn't work out for us, but he's that kind of guy. He can come up with those big moments.
He can. On the goal, I have to just say, look, Raya probably can't save that, right? But at the same time, did you see him make a big save yesterday?
No. He did not.
Dude, Liverpool, away, Anfield, and I want to see one spectacular save this season, and I'm not sure if I will. I feel like he's there, it's very clear distribution, it's very clear for control, it's very clear that we just have so much faith in our defenders that we don't even get that many shots. But when they come, there will have to be a chance for you to make a worldie, bro. And I'm waiting. When that worldie save happens, hey, maybe there will be champagne on the pod, honestly, because he's earned that one.
So the three big chances that come to mind. So solid one for the goal. I don't put any blame on Raya there. I think Salah can go left. He can go right. Raya does make one step towards the middle of the goal. He does. But it's Salah. Like, that's still a great... Where he puts that ball is bins, in my opinion. Then there's the chance from Joe Gomez that goes wide.
Yeah, the near post shot that he saved, yeah.
Oh, the one that went wide, that he curled.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but, so, okay, if that's on target, I'm not sure he saves it, dude.
I don't know.
I'm not sure he saves it.
I didn't see a good angle. That's true. I did not see a good angle, so I can't say anything about that one. And then the third one, where Trent hit the crossbar. I don't think he's saving that either. But I don't put much blame on him for that either. But I would love to see one spectacular save just to put things to bed a little bit, right?
Yes.
I understand that we haven't seen it yet, so it's like, well, maybe Ramsdale could, maybe if we had someone else they could. But I still like the ball play from Raya, man. I just do. We're not getting enough shots on us, but his ball playing ability is good. I don't want to have to talk about the keeper, which is bad. I don't want to have to do it, but we do. We just do.
We do. It's not a huge deal. I mean, he's our number one, man. I want to see a worldie save. That's all I'm asking. It's because, like, you don't get that many shots on you, and when there's a big one, show me what you got. And it hasn't happened yet. Doesn't mean it won't happen. So we'll be watching for that. A player that we do have to talk about who I think expectations were high going into the game for him. He does well at Anfield. He has a scoring record against Liverpool. But I think that was one of the worst games I've seen Martinelli play, dude.
I agree 100%. I'm surprised he was out there as long as he was. I really am. Tough game. My take on him was that he was trying way too hard. I think the effort was there, but almost like too much. He was cranked up too much. Playing on the ball way too much. Decision making wasn't there. I think that's kind of what you thought as well.
The decision making for me, there was one where, dude, he was dribbling, and I love when he dribbles in the middle and just like it really changes the dimension of the game, right? There was one where it's like you gotta pass it back, and he got stuck. It looked like he looked at Zinchenko. He was like, I could pass this back. Let me see if I can turn and run here. And it's like, come on, man, make the better decisions. And even there was one where Saka played him through, and it looked like you've seen him take the shot with his left foot a lot. And yesterday he was like, I'm gonna bring it to my right. A lot of time he was just kept trying to bring it to his right to bend it. It's like, I don't know, Nelly. I'm just not too impressed with some of the decision making. And yeah, I mean, I think at halftime I wanted him off. I wanted Trossard on because I just wanted a little change there, man.
He definitely had his worst game. I agree with that. Because I think he likes to cook Trent. He likes to cook him, which is great. But Konate was all over him as well. And the decision making. Plenty of times where he's spinning out. I'm like, just play the ball back. And then he's like, nah, screw it. I'm going to take it myself. I think the goals were there for him. They could have been there. That chance that he missed was tough. His touch was bad, right? I think the ball got behind him. If he had dragged that with him, first touch, he probably slots that. It was still close. But when Trossard came on, I think he gave us a different dynamic. Man, Nelly, I was surprised. I was just surprised that I think he's trying too hard. And you actually hit on this when we talked about this last episode, man. You're like, maybe he's looking at his stats and he's like, man, they're just not there, and it's getting into his head. And now the effort is just too high. You're playing outside of yourself, right? And you got to play within your own means. And once you get outside of that, you start trying things that aren't there.
Aren't there. As we're just talking about our attackers, there's something that I want to share, which is that, look, I think our front three, when I think about our front three, Saka, Jesus, and Martinelli, I think Saka had the best game. Jesus was up for it. Nelly, not so much. But I just want to say that we're not seeing enough goals from our front three in big games. I mean, you think about it. Aston Villa, Newcastle, and now Liverpool. No goals from our front three. And that's a little bit of a concern. And even the goal that we had against Man City that came from our front three, I mean, Nelly takes that shot. It's a deflection that kind of goes in, right? So I want to see more from our front three in the big games when it comes to the score sheet.
Agreed. Agreed. This has been a consistent theme. I think the biggest worry we have is where are the goals coming from right now? And I don't really think there's an answer. Where are they coming from? It's been a tough stretch. We played some good teams lately, but it's just been a tough stretch. Goals aren't going in, man. Shout out Big Gabby, but
shout out Big Gabby, dude. But like ultimately, we can't be a set piece team in the big games. No. Like we just can't rely on surviving by that and getting over the finish line.
The chances are there. It's like the chances are there, man. Even yesterday, there was chances. I think each of those players had chances. They just didn't put them in. Did not put them in. Getting things on target also, just not happening. I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. I'm sure the coaching staff's trying to solve it as well. So
yeah. So let me ask you a question. Is it time to maybe just bench Nelly for a game? Just next game against West Ham?
I say yeah. Why not? Give it a new look. We've run out these front three how many times? Like you're saying, where are the goals coming from? I think it's time. Let's give it a new look. I don't think there's any problem also with taking a player out, playing a game, and then the next game after that, throwing him back in, right? I think that could be a mentality boost, an absolute mentality boost. So yeah, I always back Trossard as well. He can give you at least 60 minutes.
Yeah, and I want to see Reece every now and then. It would
Who's
be
that?
nice, dude.
Who's Reece?
It would be nice to see him get some time. And, I mean, Martinelli is so good. Now just imagine him coming on in the 60th minute, going against a tired outside back, dude. And just having a nice 30 minutes out there. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I don't feel like he has to start every single game at this moment in time. And we'll see. I think after January, there's going to be some change up in our overall squad. It looks like a couple of players are coming back from injury, so we'll see. Because I also wouldn't mind seeing Jesus out wide and Kai up top, for example, like Partey and Rice playing the pivot with Odegaard. You know, so we'll see. Anything? What else do you want to talk about on the game?
Give me your take on the 4v1. I'd love to hear it. That's the biggest moment to me of the game. Biggest moment of the second half for sure. Not only it started from a huge mistake from us. Rice is the only person back, which is also wild.
Dude, when I saw Zinchenko and Odegaard run into each other, I didn't think there was anyone else back there because like Rice wasn't in the shot when Salah gets the ball on my broadcast, and I just thought, oh my god, it's just Salah is going, and at that moment I was like, it's a goal. Like, I was like, it's a goal. And then I saw Rice. I was like, he's there, the one person I want back there. He's there, and he's stalling, and he's so clever with his positioning, and also. Props to our defenders. I think if you watch back the replay, a lot of our attackers have given up. And they're not even really trying to track back. Gabriel and Ben White look like they're having their own little race going backwards. Saliba is outpacing Psycho Nunes. So I just think it was impressive, our defensive effort there. And yeah, hey, we got away with one. Why not? Why not us? We can get away with one every now and then.
That's what I wanted to touch on was the defenders, though. Do I think Liverpool should have scored? Absolutely, they should have. But you do as much as you can to help yourself. Because Saliba can get in front of Nunes, he cuts off that pass, right? So the pass is obviously coming to the right. Now, which one on the right? There's 3 options, so who knows? But he cuts that off. So great effort by Saliba. Ben White and Gabriel, like you're saying, hauling back. It's you do as much as you can. But they should have scored. But I think, hey, maybe that little bit of effort, that little bit of what you did do, helped prevent the goal. And also, shout out to the grounds crew.
Shout out to the grounds crew, baby. Maybe give them a bonus on top of their training. Like. No, that's good. The flowers for the defenders are right for me, and I mean I think they were some of our best players yesterday. They really were, and I mean they gave man of the match to Saliba. I think maybe that's just to. Maybe there's just like a little message in there like this is the best defender in the league. Like we're giving him man of the match at Anfield. But for me, Gabriel was man of the match. That's who I would have wanted to see it.
Those three were immense. Rice, Saliba, Gabriel. I mean, I think it probably could have gone to any of those guys, man. Gabriel, I think he gets overshadowed by Saliba because of the way he plays. I think they're kind of opposite. Right, Gabriel's the get stuck in, get rough with players. Saliba's the elegant, prancing, like no one can touch you kind of guy.
No one can touch me kind of dude. It was so beautiful. There's one clip goes around that where he covers for Gabriel, takes the ball off Salah, plays a 1-2 with Gabriel, cooks Trent. Trent is like pressing him and just drop on his shoulder, and you can see Trent's like head go like, "Oh my gosh, I just got done up by this French guy." It's naughty, bro.
He's just so eloquent. He was very eloquently. He never looks like he's playing outside of himself. He's always in control. And then versus Gabriel, he's just more of a bash bro type player. So I think it's such a great mix between the two of them, right? Like as a center forward, it's like, which one do I want to go for? Do I want to get banged up today, or do I want to get embarrassed?
Yeah, dude. I think he might have the best touch of all the center backs in the league.
I think so.
There was the one ball where him and Salah are shoulder to shoulder, and he just brought it down with the outside of his foot, dude. Like, what center back tries that, bro?
A class above a lot of players, and I'm glad we have him on our team, and he's so young for many years to come.
Hopefully. A player we do have to talk about is Kai Havertz. I think he was soft in the first half. I wasn't too happy with him in the first half, but in the second half, I thought he did well, especially because he was on a yellow and stuck it out. But we're going to miss him against West Ham, which I think is also good. I do think he needs a rest a little bit. He's played every single game for us this season, so that's it. That's all I have to say about him. I don't know what will look like against West Ham, but I'm happy that he gets to have this rest and enjoy Christmas with his family and all his pets.
Yeah, his dogs. So jumping into the West Ham game, we actually just going back to Martinelli. Does he play next game? Well, Havertz isn't there, so who plays in the center mid spot? Let's just say Trossard. That's the first person that comes to my mind is Trossard. So it's like, well, maybe Martinelli does play. Because the only other option would be Reece, right?
Yeah, Smith Rowe can't play 90.
Or you could throw out Jesus to the left and run Eddie up top. I guess that's another option.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, honestly. I do want to talk about Eddie, because Eddie subbed on. I just don't know about Eddie, man. There was one... I was very impressed with him defensively. He got stuck in. He was helping the team. There was one play in particular I remember when he won the ball from their center back, spun him, passed it to Saka, and Saka was dribbling, and Eddie just spins out so casually, and Joe Gomez is up by him, and it's just like, Eddie, like, if you attack that space, maybe something does happen. Like, maybe you get the ball, but you gotta run fast to the space, man. Not just jog casually to be at the penalty spot, bro. So, but he did okay.
Yeah, I think he did okay. I think Trossard had a good showing off the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the start against West Ham. I think it's basically the same lineup, man. We don't have the boys back still. We got to kind of run it back, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess to compliment Nelly, at least his corners are good. Trossard.
He had a bad corner, dude. Yeah,
bad
that first
corner.
one. disgusting.
We need more from that one, bro. We don't like those corners on this pod, bro.
Yeah, he actually, I really like his delivery most of the time. But that first one that went front post, knee high, like, come on, man. Would you mind Jesus playing out wide and someone else playing up top?
In that situation, for me, Kai Havertz plays up top. But I wouldn't mind, like, if we sign someone big and Jesus is out wide. But even Jesus and Eddie, I mean, I'd like to see it. We haven't seen it that much. So I wouldn't mind Jesus playing out on the wing, man. And I also think it protects him a little bit more. There was a couple of, he just takes so many knees in the back, and like Virgil was all over him, and I don't know. I worry about his health when he plays center forward so consistently.
Yeah, the way he plays, man, I consider him our bowling ball. He's always getting stuck in everywhere. He's throwing that thing back. I think he looks for the contact at times, which I respect. Like, if that's what gets you going, do it. But like you're saying, he's had a bad injury record lately, so understood.
Yeah, understood. So West Ham coming up. I'll tell you what, man. I think that was the one game out of the 4 that I had actually called out as the one that I was maybe most worried about, and they just smacked up United. Nothing new with United, but I'm still a little concerned about them. But it's at home, so I am expecting a good crowd. It's the holiday season, right before New Year's that we play. I think it will be a really good game. London derby. So I'm backing the team for a 4-0 at home, dude.
Woo-hoo. Wow. I think we win as well. I want to say we kind of have to keep this run going. I think we had, so it's 12 points. We were looking at 4 games, and we were kind of saying we need 10. We were saying we need 10 points. Well, we've already dropped 5 in this run. So let's get the 7. Let's get the win here. I'll go with a 2-0. I can see us shutting them out. Get the clean sheet. Let's get 2 in. From the front 3.
From the front 3. I'd like to see them on the score sheet as well, dude. I agree with you. All right, man. Well, before we wrap up the pod, I got to say 4 years of Mikel Arteta at the helm. On to year 5. Give the manager the props he deserves. Stop your manager chatter. Like, I don't want to hear it, man. And it's so impressive, I think, what he's done. It's really phased out. And not just him, right? It's credit to everyone at the club. Very, very pleasing 4 years. And hopefully 4 more. I would be okay with 4 more at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely turned the club around. We were Banter FC when he took over. I mean, those were dire days. Like I've said, those were dire days. Mustafi, Socrates, Ozil, Guendouzi. Like, we had an interesting team out there. Think of where we are now. Even from last year to this year, going to Anfield, we held on for the draw. We really, really had a batter down and kind of got lucky, in my opinion. This year, those last 15 minutes, that's what I look at. The last 15. Who was really on top the last 15? I don't think Liverpool were really pressing us for a goal. They had chances, but we were there too. We were there too, looking for a winner. So year after year, we're getting better and better. It's insane that we're now in a title race, back-to-back years. It's been here 4. From the dire days to now, title challengers. We're in the Champions League, and people like our chances. Big ups to Mikel. Big ups to the club for backing him as well. From the Arteta out, the Arteta out era.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Bro, Arteta out, like, I don't know, like 3 months into the job, dude. People are like, oh, it should have been Allegri, or should have been blah, blah, should have been blah, blah. Like, hey, man, come on. Trust the process, big man.
The way the players talk about him, I mean, he's transformed our club back to where it needs to be. So,
absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And this is now the second Christmas in a row. We're sitting up top. Look, It didn't happen for us last time around. And actually not the first time that this happened. So this is now the 4th time in the Premier League that Arsenal will be at the top of the table on Christmas Day. In 02-03, we finished 2nd. In 07-08, we finished 3rd. Of course, last year, 22-23, 2nd. And now a new character has been unlocked. So let's see how we do.
4 times a charm, dude. 4 times a charm.
So we'll see. Exciting times ahead. Plus, dude, we're in the Champions League. We're on top of the table. We're in the Champions League. So big up the manager. I'll just leave you with this final stat here because I got to big up Gabriel, bro. Big Gabby doesn't get all the credit that he deserves. Well, guess what? Big Gabby is the highest scoring defender in the Premier League since he joined Arsenal. 11 goals.
Boom. Big threat. Yeah, dude,
my center back,
always. Dude. I think he actually hasn't really scored this season, which is surprising, but he's always a threat. He's always there. I love when he gets out wide, like after a corner, and you see him on the ball, and he's like like hell yeah, dude. Love him. Love our back line, man. Love our center backs.
Love our center backs, dude. Absolutely. And I think he was the very first signing of the Mikel Arteta era.
He's one of the first ones, yeah. One of the first.
So respect there as well. All right, man. Well, we're going to get this out either tonight, Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day. So wherever you're listening, wishing you a happy and healthy time with friends and family. Enjoy the holidays, and we will chat with you after the West Ham game.
Merry Christmas. Be easy.